So this is one of my very favorite resources. It's esl-bits.eu. Now, ESL is English as a second language. However, the books that they have on here are good for anyone. And most of them are pretty high level. They're books that are often taught in schools in middle and high school in the United States. So, and the amount that they have is absolutely amazing. So this is a new thing, the egalitarian novels. Those are novels where they talk about people who are against things. Usually there's some kind of really bad thing happening and somebody rebels. And that's probably because of our political situation right now. But there's all these different books. And then we have all these different things. Many times children will be engaged more if they read something short to begin with. And if you're a teacher, many times you need to find short things for students to read because, a lesson may be only a few days, or the unit that you're doing may be pretty short. So you need something short. So I'm going to go to short stories. Look at that for a minute. Okay, now this is a little bit clunky. What I mean by that is it's a little bit, technology isn't very smooth. That's probably because this is a free site. But here's a story, and I'm going to click on it. They will read this to you also. I would be very careful with that. If you have a child who's struggling to read, it can provide engagement. In other words, the child can enjoy reading more if it's read at the same time that the student follows along. However, in my experience and based on research, a lot of kids kind of zone out and they don't actually read when they listen. So I would encourage you to discourage your child from listening to the book as long as the child is at this grade level. So in other words, if you've got a child who wants to read a book that's, a middle school book, but the child, for whatever reason, is still reading at second, third grade level, it may be helpful to listen to it. But I don't recommend that you do that for most of the time. And they've got all these other different ones. And most of these are classics. Like Agatha Christie is a mystery writer, pretty famous in the United Kingdom. And that's because many of these books are copyright free, which means that the author usually has passed away. But some of them are, like Stephen King still living, fantastic author. David Sedaris is a very famous author. We've got all these different things, and these are like bestsellers. These are all really well-known authors, so really good, high-quality literature. And most of it is literature. Most of this is fiction, but we do have some nonfiction, which is true stories. So this is real life. It's a manhunt about Lincoln's killer. Really interesting for maybe a child who's interested in history. We've got all these different things. The Diary of a Young Girl is a very famous book in the United States and really all over the world. It's a book about World War II and the Holocaust, which was a really sad time when a lot of Jewish people died. And it's a story of a girl who hid in an attic.